Everyone went back to another stream. Hope we're all doing good. Hi, Braylon. Good to see you. And good to see Scorpio and Nimble Soul Thief and Drac and Mist as well. So yeah, I know, I can't remember if it was last stream or the stream before, I know I said I was going to play some PSO Episode 3 Card Revolution soon. I'm still sort of tinkering with the setup for it at the minute, so I'm hoping to do that maybe next Sunday. So I thought it's a half decent week on Ephinea. We'll do PSO Blue Burst this week, and then we might do Episode 3 next week. I know it's been a long time since we've done Episode 3, so... Hi, Brian, good to see you. You brought the banana loaf, nice. Hi, Nightcrawl, good to see you. Yeah, so this week is drop all rate week, so it's not bad. The RBR is not particularly great, as you would expect. We know that the good RBRs only ever appear during Experience Week. So this week we have Scarlet Realm 2, Anomalous Ordeal 3, and War of Limits 1. SR2 yellow, AO3 pink. I have no idea what Anomalous Ordeal 3 is like, honestly. I know it's like one of the ones where it's kind of random spawns. It's Temple and Mountain, okay. Random sea mode spawns. Yeah, I mean, I guess Pinkle is probably a pretty good shot for that then, because I guess you've got, you know, Pinkle Temple is pretty good anyway. And then I guess in CCA, I suppose you've got Lame. And obviously Pinkle card. So yeah, that's not too bad. For Scarlet Realm 2, I guess it's basically any ID that gets a good drop from Panarm, so I suppose Skylight or is it yellow for Tension Blaster? And War Limits 1 is basically a limiter. Yeah, War Limits 1 is a weird quest. It has tons of Astarks, but not much else. I guess if you've got a blue full going for limiter, it's probably a really good one. Alright, so what has Drac made? Okay, so Drac has a Scarlet Realm 2 yellow balls. So that would be for Heart of Tension Blaster. Has some zoos too. Yeah, it's not bad for zoos. But it's mainly Astarks. I think it has like, is it 40 something Astarks in it? I would have ran it on Red Rhea for Cannon Rouge, but there's only like, I think there's 10 Babootas in the whole quest, which is terrible. So yeah, it's not really worth doing for that. So yeah, not the best RBR, but there's a couple of things it can go for. I will jump into this one for now. I guess if we've got over 4, we'll just kind of rotate around as usual. So I'll do this because I haven't done Scarlet Realm 2 for a bit, so... F1 for Red Sword might be okay. Yeah, I mean, Skylight's probably not a bad option for SR2 because, I mean, you've got Heart of Flamberge from the Panarms, but you do have just generally pretty decent drops in Skylight Cave. So, yeah, Sky is definitely a decent ID for that. You can get Chain Sword, Red Sword, Sanga. There's nothing, like, uber rare, apart from Heart of Flamberge, I guess. But yeah, it's not bad. You know, Skylight Caves is just a really solid area. So we've got one more spot in here if anyone wants in. switching to a force, no worries. Shifter is 20, but my D-band is 15. That is fine. I should have... Actually, if we're getting a force, it doesn't matter anyway. But I do have 20-20, so... Yeah, I think we're getting one more. There we go. Okay, it's very much not a force, but... I mean, hi. I mean, I guess we can run with this. I don't know how many we've got on in total today, so we might have to keep rotating around parties. It's alright, I will be force. So yeah, I guess try and make sure that we kill the pan arms without letting them split. Oh yeah, we could also get Heaven Punisher from the Crimson Assassins. The drop rate's something stupid, but, you know, technically it exists. I will say I can't remember the map for this quest at all, so... Yeah, I think this RBR, I think that there's definitely a couple of things to go for. It's not a complete write-off, but it would be nice to have some better quests in the good weeks. I suppose it won't matter in a few weeks' time, because we should get Anniversary fairly soon. I would think beginning of August, hopefully. Oh yeah, I do kind of remember this. I think you get these switches at the end of each route, and it unlocks like a light, I think. Yeah, so but that door's now unlocked. Yeah, it's 1 in 101,000 for Heaven Punisher from Assassins at the minute. Easy. Also, I did not realise that your Rakast was of 140 odd. I thought they were much lower for some reason. Yeah, what we'll try and do is, once we've done this quest, we'll try and sort of rotate around who's in the games. Running a little beyond soon, no worries, David. Oh, this is a really strange quest, isn't it? Where, yeah, you start going this way and there's a wall behind you, and you do all that just to unlock this way. I mean, hopefully we get some decent drops this stream, but we'll see. It never happens on stream, so... So I know we were saying recently, I think it was when I was playing this yesterday or the day before, we were saying that there seems to be a pattern each year with this game where I tend to find like one of the weapon hearts just before the anniversary. It just seems to be a thing that happens now. So like last year I found, I think it was Heart of Samba Maracas, either on the first day of the anniversary or just before it. And this year I found Heart of Suppress Gun. So I look forward to what I get next year. You're mid-quest when the stream started, join lobby, no worries. Okay, Boing in chat saying there's one more slot for a Viridia Exard run if anyone's free. So if anyone is needing a game to join, there's a slot in that one. Should really be doing Zalo on these. Should really stop being lazy. This quest is Scarlet Realm 2. So it's generally a pretty good quest for hunting most stuff in caves, but the main thing people tend to use it for is hunting pan arms. Oh. Carman got a branch of Paku Paku. Amazing. I mean, I guess if you need a striker of Chow, then... But yeah, this quest, Scarlet Realm 2, it's on the boost road for this week, so there's extra drop rates and everything for it. So definitely worth doing if you do have anything in caves you want to hunt. It's not the best quest for everything here, but it's got pretty solid enemy counts. Seems quite good for Nano Dragons, actually. Thankfully there's no Baronses in this quest. Good to see you, Nemu. Legendary redeem. It is a very good redeem, it is. I do need to add some more redeems to the channel. So I have a week off work, so I think it's early August, yeah, first week of August I think it is. So hopefully I'll get some chance to work on things on the channel a bit. How's the weather over there? It depends on where you are in the country at the minute. So where I am, it's not too bad now. It's sort of around 20 degrees. It's still relatively humid, but it's kind of it's manageable. It's fine really now. I know further south in the country though, it's still really warm. I think the heat wave's still going on there. Yeah, much more manageable, at least in the north of the country anyway. Which I am very, very glad about, because That hit wave was no joke. I'm not saying that needle weapons are busted, but when every single ranger in the party is using one. I didn't see what the drop rate was for the heart attention blaster. Probably terrible. Yeah, needle it's more just convenient, really. Just having like the AoE damage on a relatively fast animation, it's just really useful. Damage is garbage, but it's not what you use it for. So it's 1 in 2,889 for heart attention blaster. It's not bad. I mean, let's be real, it's still kind of terrible. Level up for banana loaf. That was extremely rude. I mean, to be fair, it was kind of my fault for deciding to rebuff right in front of Pan Arms. Probably not my finest moment. Pan Am should respect boundaries. They should. They don't, though. Have you had it yet where it mainly happens in TTF from what I've seen, but there's a weird bug where sometimes the Pan Ams in TTF will just shoot you from about 3 rooms away. I don't know how that works, but occasionally you just get shot from halfway across the map. Yeah, good to see you as well, dude. Yeah, I don't know what triggers it. It only happens now and again. Like I say, for me, it mainly happens in TTF. I don't know if it happens anywhere else. You'll normally notice it because you'll still hear the Pan Arms making noise when you're about 3 rooms away. Yeah, we love PSO, but it is such a buggy game. That's part of the charm, though. Man, Kaman is getting all of the res, like all the photon drops. Branch of Paku Paku. I seem to remember this quest has some really, really dodgy spawns with lilies. Like hiding them around corners and things, so... And there's one at the back there, that's not too bad, but I seem to remember there's some really dodgy ones. That's quite bad. I think it's mainly near the last room. So man, I have far too many weapons with me. Also, I feel like this quest is on RBR constantly. It feels like it's every few weeks. I mean, it's not a bad quest really if you are after something in caves, I suppose. Since you remember that the gimmick with this quest is there's some bonus spawns like after you've completed it. Probably should have done that here. Yeah, it's this room. This room has some really nasty spawns. I said it's mainly just lilies hidden in awkward places. Yeah, I guess Heaven Strike Special probably works quite well here, doesn't it? I mean, it works well anywhere, let's be real, but I guess being able to hit things with auto aim probably helps. Yeah, Heaven Striker is just ridiculously OP. I'd quite like to get one more hit. Just because obviously I've got that Heart Suppress gun now. And I do kind of want to use it. But I don't want to use it on a Heaven Punisher. Not that I have a Heaven Punisher either, but you know. Oh, red sword drop, nice. I don't suppose it's got any hit on it, has it? It is 35 air base, that's fine. Of course it doesn't have hit. Still a good sword though. Yeah, red weapons are pretty good for the most part. Oh, someone got a banner. Not in this quest, but... This is a Braveman with 50 hit on tech, nice. That's the White Hill drop, isn't it? I think. I want to say it is anyway. I suppose having the Gi drop is really nice though, because there's quests with tons of those. I still think like Phantasma World 1 is probably a really good option for that. The amount of Gis in that is ridiculous. So I'm trying to sort of figure out the weeks and trying to figure out when the anniversary might be. I think they normally start at either first or second week of August usually. So I think We might get one more rare drop week before anniversary, maybe. Because we've got this week, which is DAR week. Then next week should be Rare Monster week. And then after that, it'll be Rare Drop week. So we might get a Rare Drop week before anniversary. That'd be nice because then during anniversary we get all the boosts anyway. So assuming they don't change anything. Yeah, so now, yeah, it's kind of a weird quest, this one. So once you've done it, you basically then, you pipe and go back to a bit earlier, and there's a few more bonus spawns. Can't do the trick of the telepipe, no worries. It only works. That's kind of weird, that though, isn't it? That it doesn't work on telepipes, but it does work on teleporters. Okay, so now you go for the red pipe, and then there should be some bonus pan arms. I don't know why they decided to do this. It's very weird, but it is what it is. This is like the most obviously not Sega quest. Alright, where's these bonus pan arms? It's kind of crazy. I don't know how you expected to know that. That's why I never do this quest, because I would just forget all these bonus spawns, how to activate them. Here we go. I think it's only for these 5, I believe, but if you're hunting pan arms, you know, it's definitely worth doing. Ah. Well, we've got most of them. Is it just those? I seriously do not know this quest at all. Oh yeah, and now you just go back to Pioneer, fair enough. It's kind of a weird quest. Alright, is this going to be anything good? No, of course not. I still haven't seen hit charge Vulcans in that shop. I've got some that I got from other people, but still not seen them in the shop once. Someone got rest to level 30. Again, I would definitely recommend getting this add-on if you don't have it. For those who haven't seen it, this is the floor reader add-on. So as well as having like an item reader that you can pop up on your screen that shows you what's dropping, this will highlight things on the floor that are of use. So you might be able to see like over the box it actually says what it is. Which is quite good if you're just looking at it from a distance, so you can see, okay, that box over there is rest level 30. Really, really handy. I think it's called the Dropbox Tracker. it just saves going through everything. It also shows things like weapons with high attributes as well. So you'll know if you played like on earlier versions that you used to have to like pick up every single weapon drop just to see what the percentages were on it, and then drop it again when it was inevitably garbage. With that, you can just see where like the hit percent weapons drop, which is really nice. Tells you what specials they've got on them as well. The level cap in this game, Antisocial, is 200. I think in the very first version on Dreamcast it might have been 100, but yeah, later versions it's 200. And it's very high level weighted as well, so a lot of the experience is towards the end. Oh, Minsk is on as well, cool. And Lucy's here as well. You're on fouls now. Okay, we can work. Is it purple or Sky Galzaval? So Sky can get a Punisher. That is kind of my goal for the anniversary as well. If we don't get it beforehand, it would be really nice to get a Heaven Punisher. Oh, Nima's coming on as well. Cool. Yeah, we can wait a couple minutes for you to beat Falls. Don't mind purple because it's also PGF. Not that Olga Flow drops exist, because they never drop. Right, what should we play? I mean, we already know what I'm going to play. Where is it? I will play Rune's theme every single time. Just started yesterday. Oh, cool. Does the change track stay persistent or does it reset upon login? So for the jukebox, it will literally just play the song once and then it'll go back to the normal music. There are also music discs you can find as well as drops. When you play those, it will play consistently for that area. So say you're in Forest 1, and you use a music disc, it will play for the entirety of Forest 1 until you either go to Forest 2 or go back to Pioneer, and then it'll reset to normal music. Just playing with the team right now. Oh, no worries. Yeah, so we'll just wait for the other team to finish files and then we'll split the parties up again. God, this song is so good. yeah, Cease Forest, yeah. I really like how widespread that symbol chat is now. Whether we're allowed to do Forest for the anniversary will depend on what the quests are. I forgot you can't mash, but I learned quickly to time combo, even Ranger uses combo. Yeah, so the only things that don't use combos is techs. But yeah, any melee or any range will typically use combos. I will say though, there are some weapons that don't combo. It tends to be rare weapons though. There's certain ones that where you can only shoot or attack once with them. But you'll figure that out when you get them. Most of them typically have a 3-hit combo. Hi, young Shadow, good to see you. You got a PGF well before the jam D4 on. Yeah, it makes no sense sometimes, does it, RNJ? The D14 is what, twice as hard apparently to get? Have you ever noticed that the computer terminal on your right has a really strange layout? What, this one? I mean, I know it's like a PSO episode 3 terminal, because I think it says PSO card battle. And then transferring something, maybe? Or, I don't know, I can't tell what that says, actually. Me with my 5 Pazuzas before I got a V801. It's always the case. The 1 out of 2 drops are the worst, man. Oh, the actual keyboard layout. Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty wild keyboard. I do play PSO2 and NGS anti-social, mainly NGS now, but I am taking a break from NGS at the minute. Taking a break until probably sometime in August. Big card select button in the middle. Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Alright, so how many have we got? What are the differences straight up? NGS is kind of like a more simplified combat, I would say. It's kind of, it's its own story. I mean, it does loosely connect to PSO2. NGS slander my beloved. I haven't slandered it yet. But I am on a break from it though. I was very, very burned out with it. So yeah, I am on a break from it until probably at least August. Okay, so I think we've got, is it 10 or it might be 11 now? Yeah, we've got 11. So I guess we could do what? 4, 4, 3? Only after one thing. I mean, we know that. I mean, we're always down for a gold run. I have to do at least one per stream. General question about controls. Is there a place that I'm finding a good layout for a modern control? The default scheme got messed up. It depends what's messing you up, really. Is there anything in specific, like specifically that you find to be a struggle with the control scheme? So I think, let's have a look. Yeah, so I think Mr.'s, I think, yeah, Nemu, I think, has done a gold run. At least one, yeah, okay. So there is a gold run there for anyone who wants Hang on Gold. And then, what was it that was said in chat? Is anyone down to help me clear NMU4? Which one is NMU4? What happens after about episode 1, 2, and 4? You get to see the credits, and if you're playing offline, you get access to the next difficulty. But on Blue Burst, yeah, you just, you know, you see some credits if you're doing the government quest or something. And then you just keep playing and keep trying to find stuff. The story's kind of there if you want to go and look for it. New mop-up. I need 1 clear for a quest reward. Yeah, I mean, if you want to make the game for New Mop-up 4, we can split the parties up, and if people want to join that, they can. Yeah, what you'll find, Antisocial, is a lot of PSO is about just sort of, you know, playing with friends and trying to find the best gear. That's like a huge part of the game. Purple Galzaval. Could. And then I guess we should try and split the parties up. Darkwing is doing Hang on Gold, so that is one party that's up. So let's see. so does anyone else have a purple gnome, or... So I'm just trying to rotate who I play with a bit. They bring Bertha, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to mix up like who I play with a little bit. Just so it's fair. So, enemy 4. Okay, so Anima's game's full, that's cool. So, I think what I will do is I will switch character. I might join the enemy 4 run. Just let me change over because I don't really want to do it on this character. And I need to play my Huni at least once this stream. Yeah, so then we'll have... So there's Nemo's game going at the minute. And then there'll be an enemy for... Oh, there's a banner. What's it for? And is it one of us? That'd be so typical for me to miss the banner if it is one of ours. Oh, that's the goal. Okay. Right. So there's a purple Gal developer on there. So how many have we got now? So let's see. So there's one in Galdeval. I'm just trying to balance it so it's fair so we don't leave anyone out as well. So they've got 3. There's one there. Yeah, we don't really want to leave just 2 for Galdeval, ideally. I guess, I mean... I don't know if Minsk's here at the minute. It's probably better, I guess, if we both join the Galdeval one. Just because trying to run it with 2 would be a nightmare. Oh, you're just going to chill in the lobby, Minsk. No worries. Yeah, in that case, I will join this one. What I will do... If I can find it. That's the problem, we're having so much stuff. Trying to find anything is a nightmare. Oh, that was well planted, I have to say. There we go. And then, yeah, I'll deposit the DLB for now. Yeah, if you guys want to go with 3, that should work. It's probably better as both having 3 rather than having a 4 and a 2. Go on, then. I did try some Corrin gambles earlier, and he screwed me on every single one. And he continues to screw me. Thanks, Corrin. Yeah, we can start. I think 3 is the most we're going to get for this. So just pray for Heaven Punisher, basically. Oh, hey, I might actually be able to kill stuff with SGS. I mean, I'm not, because I'm going to miss, but... Oh my god, it's put slow on me already. You got a disc straight away, nice. Yeah, this is pretty good for geese as well. Hopefully the DMCA is okay with this. I mean, you'd hope so. But weirder things have happened. Ah, no worries, it's fine. What I will do is I'll just quickly mute the volume for the rest of this area, just in case. Yeah, the DMCA is very, very weird sometimes. Like, songs that you think would get DMCA'd immediately, that just seem to not care about at all. But then you play a song from the actual Phantasy Star series, and it's like, no, 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 you can't do that. So yeah, as soon as we get out of the CCA part, I'll put the volume back on. God, I hate mirror carols. I think, isn't this the room that has 3 of them, shortly? There's the answer to that question. I think mirror carols must have like the highest body count of any enemy in the game. Have you thought about making videos detail how to deal with enemy types as each combat style? I'm trying to farm get the blue lose as a Rek'Seel right now and went for advice on how to deal with them and found nothing really. Okay. Yeah, Goethe with a cast is a little awkward. I mean, they are quite vulnerable to paralyze, which helps. Yeah, so paralysis definitely helps. I mean, I guess you could use demons. It will be reduced on a casting ultimate, but it will still do alright. It kind of depends on what level you are as well, because I know with Rek'Seel, you tend to have fairly low attack power until a bit later on. Yeah, I think I'd probably agree. Yeah, probably paralyze and then demons. Just make sure you've got something that has unreduced demons. Huge res by the way. Yeah, demons is cut down on a cast, but I think on something like a Goethe Blue it is probably still worth using, just because they've got super high defense, and with Rek'Seel you're probably going to struggle to damage them quite easily. So, particularly if you're soloing. 115, farming very hard for the mag thing, which I use Heavenly Striker. The only things I have which can deal damage to it are Heaven Striker and Cannon Rouge. Yeah, it's just because the defense on Gerda is really, really high. Yeah, I think Demons is probably still your best bet, even with it being reduced on casts. Just because Gerdas are a nightmare to deal with otherwise. On the plus side, though, you will have that boost to paralysis, so you should be able to paralyze it really easily. Especially if you've got something like a decent spread needle or something. I really, really do not like Marys. They might be... Are they my least favourite enemy in PSO? It's either those or Del Depths. Do you know what? I think Del Depths might still take it. I can't stand Del Depths. Mericowls are up there though, for sure. Yeah, Gertrude is just one of those enemies, unfortunately, that just some classes are just not as good at dealing with. I feel like Gigu just did like a get down, Mr. President. I was trying to kill the Gibbles, not the Gigu. Also, just realised I brought a Hell Slicer with me and didn't use it once. Did we go the wrong way? We did. How do we miss that? Okay, I can put the BGM back on now. That's how Zoko's carrying the swords. Yeah, Kamui in the right hand and Yasha in the other. Yeah, it's a weird like bug with Sango and Yasha, where they modelled it as Kamui and Yasha for some reason. Yo, why did I get an S-Rank Hell Slicer? I mean, it is apparently a good weapon. It's just, it's awkward to use on Hunuel. I mean, you kind of have to SNS glitch it to make it actually usable. Yeah, Sophie's just not caring at all. I might be able to get the squids with it, maybe. Okay, I got one. There we go. Better than a ranger. Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, SNS glitching does help. It's just a little awkward to do sometimes. I'm not particularly good at doing the SNS glitch. Yeah, I can certainly look into that, Young Shadow, see if there is any... see if there is any other videos or any other ways to deal with certain enemies. Again, I've always said, like, if there is any ideas you've got for PSO videos, or for the other games, obviously, I'm more than happy to listen to it. Always down for suggestions, so... I'm trying so hard to hell this. There we go. Oh, speaking of Delveths. God, I hate these things. What are we hunting? So at the moment we're just doing Purple Gnome, ME Galdeval. One of the things we were looking for was the Heaven Punisher from the Mirror Carols, but we're just going to go for the whole quest and do it. There's things like Parasitic Gene Flow and stuff like that as well, so there's a few good drops here. I hear a Sinnoh. Yeah, there is. It's like we might plan to run more ME Galdeval. I could use the tickets. We might do it if people want to do it. Did you get megaded? See? Deldeaths. Did you get revived and then just die again immediately? Was it the Deldeath again? God, they absolutely suck. I can't stand them. Do you know what? I would rather fight a room full of these guys. Cheese depths. I mean, they are. They're horrible enemies. Yeah, we can see what people are feeling like doing. When heal ring. Never apparently. You got killed once reviving Drac and then a second time for doing shifter. You know, God forbid you try buffing anyone. Nope, LK-14 combat. Massive, massive drop. Oh, 5 hit as well. Massive. Oh, that was a very dirty spawn. I did not appreciate that spawn at all. I mean, I generally just don't like Sinnosaurs. Because they just seem to crit all the time. Oh, why not? Not for us again, but... S-Part's not bad. Got cut off during 3-minute ad break. I heard hunting miracles for Heaven Punisher. So I said I don't mind doing more of this, but it depends on if other people want to. So I don't want to mix it up like the people in the party and everything. But yeah, if other people want to do more, I'm down to. The sad thing is, these Deldeps have a really good drop as well on purple. Like this, I can't bring myself to hunt it because it involves hunting Deldeps. They drop the Heart of Yasminkov 9000M, which would be very, very nice, but I refuse to hunt Deldeps. Yeah, I was going to say that feels like a Delbite spawn. I realised it a bit too late. It is kind of funny how disgusting the overpowered demons is, really. So yeah, let's just give you a special that lets you cut 75% off something's health. To be fair though, you know, balance isn't really a big concern with PSO. Yeah, sorry about all the ad breaks and everything. It's kind of limited to what I can do about it. I think Twitch put ads on streams regardless of how you have it set. On YouTube side, I think they've just changed it recently, so I don't know how it determines it, but it's meant to have a thing where I think it's meant to detect like when an important moment in the stream is happening, and it designs it so that ads don't take place during that part. I don't know how it determines that. PSO's perfectly balanced battle mode. Yeah, battle mode is a mess. To be fair, though, I mean, it was never the main mode of the game, really. So I can sort of forgive it to an extent. Yeah, battle mode was always really, really funny. I mentioned it on the Discord before, but yeah, there was a thing with battle mode where if you're against a force, the force could just use Zonde on you from like a different room. As long as you were kind of within the range of Zonde, you could get hit by it. Keep getting frozen. Yeah. Zos are a nightmare. I didn't actually know the Zos could confuse you. I think I heard them all first die, that's fine. Yeah, you'd have to stack like max thunder resist, I guess. Do you know what? The more I use it, the more I realise like how terrible CLJ side actually is. I guess the whole point is to unseal it, but yeah. The sealed one, not particularly good. My god, like, they're spamming so much. How about Rafael from the next stream? That I don't know. Yeah, I saw that coming. And I still decided that the greed was worth it. It doesn't help the desync as well. Okay, can we stop with the Del Depths? Is that something we can do? Also, I really should know that if we get a spawn that's a bit delayed, it's going to be Del Biters. I should really give away. Yeah, it's like, I know that that is a thing with PSO where if you get a bit of a delayed spawn, it's probably going to be a Delbiter spawn. But I feel like it takes me like half a second too long to realise that. See, they're so much easier when they're frozen. Yeah, sort of got it. I should probably just add Gifoid to my palette, honestly. Well, we're getting there. You've had QFV from the start. Only to die to the Rabata spam. Yeah, the Rabata spam there was ridiculous though. I think they all did Rabata near the same time and then just spammed it. No gold, but Q paralysis at least. Forces will be happy. Yeah, Q paralysis is really nice on a force, honestly. I tend to use it if I'm hunting anywhere that has lilies. It just makes it so much easier. I always forget we go tower. Of course we're in tower on stream. Every single time. I feel like this entire quest is like an advert for Hell and Demons. One day I will actually hit these elevators. Still find it really weird that Purpleham has the 1975 Agito drop from those yellow flowers. They're like one in just over 1,000. Thanks for your PSO content. It's helpful in getting into Ephinea. Oh, I'm glad it's helpful. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point, just to try and get people into the game. Or like people who used to play to come back, you know? You know, it's a really old game now, so there's probably not too much recent information about it, so I'm becoming the spokesman for PSO. Oh god, I felt that like whizzed past my ear. If you want to think of me as the spokesman for PSO, you can do that. For the record, there are far better players. It's kind of weird. I almost feel like tower is getting to be one of the easier areas for me. Just I think because I've run it so much. It's one of those things where I think as you play more, you kind of learn the nuances of some of the enemies. Can't trap shoot. After a while, you memorize the spawn points and timings. Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe not for this quest because I don't do this specific quest very often. But for things like Phantasy World 4, because I ran it so much. So close but run out of time. I think NMU 4's... I seem to remember that being quite a difficult one to pass in time. The timing is quite strict on it. I don't know how urgent it is for you to beat that, but... if it's something you can wait around on, then it should show up on RBR at some point, I would imagine. And if it does that, it'll remove the timer. But yeah, I know there's a few of those time quests like the mop-ups that are pretty difficult to finish in time. No timer on the RBR quest helped a ton with leveling this week. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of the RBR, as well as obviously having the little extra boost to the drops and everything. If there is a timer normally on the quest, it gets removed. But it's only while the quest's on RBR. I know we're talking about enemies that people find difficult to deal with. I feel like Epsilon is an enemy that like a lot of people find awkward to deal with for some reason. I guess it depends on your class and your gear to an extent, but... I think a lot of people make the mistake of running away from them too much. Oh, I don't like where I am here. Made a demon's twin mostly deal with Epsilon and Akasi. Yeah, I mean, any demon's weapon obviously works really well. I just feel a lot of people tend to run away from Epsilon too much. I'm going to get hit here, but as long as I'm near him... you basically just want to try and hug them as much as you can. And be aware that when you need them, they will follow you to an extent. And then basically just demon spam it. Assuming you can even land demons, there we go. Yeah, if they spawn quite close together as well, if you stand near one of them, they will follow you a little bit if they're locked onto you, so you can kind of maneuver them away from the other one a little bit. There's a bit of a knack to doing it, but... did you get PD'd on something? Yeah, so you can see it kind of follows very slowly the person is locked onto. God, Mirror Carol in the corner. I hope that PD wasn't from anything like a Mirror Carol. Which means it probably was. Oh, it was. Okay. I mean, of course. I'm sorry. To be fair, though, you have how many Heaven Punishers? Also, I fear I may be very dead. Nope, someone got a Syncester from a Gerta Blulu. That is a hell of a drop. Wasn't able to be present for the dealing with enemies discussion because of work. What does demons do exactly? So demons just reduces the HP of an enemy by a percentage. On human and Newman characters, it reduces by 75%. And on casts, I want to say it's around 45 in Ultimate. It gets reduced on casts, because casts get boost to certain other specials. So casts basically get a boost to, I think it's to freeze, confuse, and paralysis specials. But then humans and humans get a boost to devils and demons. But yeah, it just cuts the max HP of the monster. So it's really, really useful for enemies that have a lot of HP. So a lot of the enemies in tower are kind of like mini-boss enemies, so it's really good for cutting their health down quickly. It's really good on stuff like the Dell Lilies, because Dell Lilies obviously have a lot of health, but they still have the mechanic that Lilies have, where once they get to about 20 or 25% HP, they just do the spin and die. So if you can tag them with demons once, it'll kill them. As long as you're a human or a human anywhere. Either you Zalo or demons or run a attack power to overpower. Yeah. Alright, all the time. Let's see what mood he's in today. Again, there's a thing with Olga where he seems to either be an absolute joke first phase or just is the most irritating thing you've ever fought. What mood's he in today? Let's see. Keep spamming that. That's fine. Okay, never mind. He was incredibly easy to do. Maybe he's saving it for phase 2. I'm still unsure whether waiting at the start actually does anything. I mean, it kind of feels like he doesn't attack immediately if you don't hit him straight away. I don't know if it's ever been confirmed by anyone. Okay, we were quite lucky there because he was just about to do Divine Punishment. Super question, what is better for Ep 2, demons or hell? Depends on the enemy. There's a lot of stuff that's very weak to hell in Ep 2. So a lot of the smaller enemies are very, very weak to it. In, well, Temple, Spaceship, and CCA, and Seabed. A lot of the minor enemies are very, very weak to hell. Demons tend to be better with for the bigger enemies, usually. Well, I did not get a PGF, and neither did anyone else, apparently. You got Heart of Mazetta. Can I at least get like a weapon drop that's half decent? As that consolation prize? You got King Striker. I mean, at least that has a use, I guess, for Claire's deal. But no, the answer is no. Right, how many kills is SGS at? $5,431. God, it's nowhere near. Just think, if it was X-Scal, I'd be halfway now. So my entire haul from that was a single photon drop. Fantastic. Got more than me. Oh, did you not get a single? Oh, you got an LK. Okay. An LK with 5 hit, yeah. You got 2 photon drops, okay. Do kills on low difficulties count towards the kill count? Yeah, anything. So as long as I get the killing blow, and as long as I've got Sealed J-Sword equipped when I get the kill, it counts. That's why a lot of people, when they do unsealing, they'll do it in normal. Because you just kill everything in one shot with Gafoi. That tends to be the fastest way to do it, just stand in the middle of a room with Gafoi. There's a few quests you can use that are really good for it, so... But it is very, very boring. Yeah, as long as you've got the weapon equipped, you don't have to hit them with the sword. I mean, obviously, hits with the sword do count. But yeah, you can use techs. I guess if you're a caster, I suppose traps would work if you kill with the traps, but... Like, Hunuel is probably the best class for unsealing Sealja, just because you've got enough mental strength to do okay damage with Gafoi. It is a silly amount of enemies, yeah, like 23k is no joke. Yeah, unsealing it with traps only would be incredibly hardcore. I don't know why I'd ever want to do that. Right. The damage trap resets the count. Okay, so it looks like, I think they're trying enemy 4 again by looks of things. So, how many we got? 7 or 6, depending on if Minsk's joining. So I guess we could do, what, a 3 and a 3? Depends if anyone's AFK, I guess. So what was the other Abia? Anomalous Ordeal 3, War Limits 1. Do we try Skyly Galdaval? I mean, I kind of feel like doing something a bit different to Galdaval for the next run. I have no idea what Anomalous Ordeal 3 is like. I know it's like a random spawn quest. Did you say it was Temple and Mountain? Oh, we can try Virtual Limits 1. I mean, Temple and Mountain on pink is pretty good. Do you want me to go and get my Pinkle as well so we can do two Pinkle runs? Are you going to get Galatim? Okay. Still such a good name, by the way. Yeah, we've always got options to run. I'm just thinking because obviously Anomalous Ordeal 3 is on RBR at the minute. Just try and maximize it. And realistically, it's probably the only time we're ever going to run Anomalous Ordeal 3. How many forces do we have? Is it just one? I'm just debating whether I get my 4 Marl as well, just so there's a force for both teams. Oh, nice. Ramal Hunuel works. It does. It does. I'll tell you what, if we're doing Ep 2, I might get my Ramal because, you know, hell. I'm sorry you only got to hear about half of Frog's theme. If you want to hear more of Frog's theme, go and watch the Chrono Trigger streams on Wednesdays. I'm hoping we finish that game in the next couple of streams. So I think we're getting relatively close now. Okay, so do we have 2 teams set up? Okay, yeah, we have two games set up, so if we just try and sort of split into those, just try and split evenly if you can. Remind me, did you have a game in mind or going for a poll? I know we talked about this, but I have the memory of a housefly. I think, well, the next game, I kind of want to try the Phantasy Star 2 Text Avengers just to see what they're like. Depending on what they're like, I mean, it might only be a one-stream thing if they're terrible. But I just want to try them out of curiosity. After that, we'll probably do a poll, I think, to see what the next game is. Okay, so there's 2 in each. So we've got 2 Hunters in that one. Force and Ranger in that one. Okay. Yeah, there's a few options that we've got. I know this, this is things like Skies of Arcadia. There's, I do want to do Chrono Cross at some point, but not straight away. There was the Trails in the Sky games. There's a few options. Okay, so they've got Hunuel and 2 Hucasts. Skies of Arcadia, no-brainer. Alright, I will jump in here just so the parties are balanced. Skies of Arcadia is a throwback for me. Yeah, I've never played it. There are tons of like really, really loved RPGs I've just never played, so I'm trying to rectify that now. Started with Chrono Trigger and we're moving through them. Well, I guess technically we started with the classic Phantasy Stars, so... yeah, if there's anyone else in the lobby that wants in, we have 1 more slot, and I think the other team has 1 more slot as well. So, final call. We'll give it a minute or so, and if no one joins, we'll start. It's the final countdown. Great song, by the way. Very, very cheesy, but yeah. I was saying, I don't know this one, I'll just shoot lots. That is fine. I don't know this one either, so... I'll just warn you about Trails. The series is 14 games long and they're all one continuous story. Yeah, I guess we can start. Yeah, I know there was... I don't know if it's a remaster or a remake. It was on Steam. So I would maybe try that. It's good, but yeah. Okay. Do I have a cure paralysis? I do. Cool. Or once I actually remembered. Problem is there are tons of games, yeah. Yeah, and this quest is probably another advert for hell. He says as he starts to miss everything with it. I love the original Dark Cloud, but it's not beginner friendly. Get another one I've not played. Okay, so after I said that hell is good here, now I just can't hit anything with it. I know it is good here. I was thinking that was a very weird spawn for that Belra, but I guess it is kind of random spawns in this, isn't it? So we are going to get some very strange spawns. It's a mystery dungeon style RPG. Okay. Oh, Stormwind Indra. Huge. Yeah, Pinko Temple is really nice. It's such a solid area. On a side note, the naming of the Trails games has an interesting history. First game was called Dragon Slayer. I barely know anything about Trails, I just know it's been around forever. It had several sequels, some of which had their own sequels. Yeah, I know there's a ton of games in the series, but yeah, I've never played any of them. I'll be honest, I didn't even know the series existed until relatively recently. The 6th Dragon Slayer was titled Legend of Heroes. I mean, it is very confusing from someone who's like new to that. You know, trying to know where to start. I know Mist that I'm playing with at the minute, I know he sent me basically a list of all the different games and like recommended where to start with each of them. Still only played Trails of Cold Steel. Third, fourth, and fifth Legend of Heroes are a trilogy, which were released in English as second, first, and third. Yeah, so what you're saying is the most confusing series ever to understand what game is which. Yeah, I feel sometimes like it feels like a very Japanese thing for a lot of these series where they just try to make it as confusing as possible and have like different localizations abroad and everything, just to make things even more confusing. I mean, the classic Phantasy stars are a little bit like that. I know in Japanese, I know Phantasy Star 2's title is actually quite a long one. I can't remember exactly what it translates to now. And then 4's kind of weird because 4 is Phantasy Star 4 in some markets and Phantasy Star the End of the Millennium in other markets. I'm very surprised that Lily couldn't hit me from there. I'm not complaining though. Kingdom Hearts and Guilty Gear are similar. They have stories which span over a strange series of spin-offs and varying consoles. Yeah, Guilty Gear naming is ridiculous. They got carried away and released Trails in the Sky in 2 parts and decided that the rest of Trails will also be in 2 parts. Okay. Guilty Gear lore is its own special rabbit hole. It really is. I don't know much about current Guilty Gear lore because I didn't really play Strive. It just never appealed to me for some reason. But yeah, even playing Exard or any of the earlier ones, yeah, it's wild. You can watch Shield Rulers. Yeah, I never got around to that. Oh, it's actually a prequel to Strive, okay. Yeah, honestly, Strive, it just never appealed to me much. I think this might be a quite controversial take, I don't know. But you know, Guilty Gear, it has a really, really strong soundtrack. That's kind of common knowledge. I don't really like a lot of the character themes in Strive. Sorry. I'm also not a huge fan of some of the character redesigns either. You know, I absolutely love the sort of the early Guilty Gear soundtracks. You know, whether it's the original one or Double X or even Exard, I thought had a pretty strong soundtrack. I don't know what it is with Strive. I do not like a lot of the themes. The actual game I can't really comment on because I never really played Strive, but and the main reason for that is because I am horrible at fighting games. Strive soundtrack is a bit hit and miss. I'm trying what I like from Strive that I've heard. Dizzy's theme was a bit of a weird one for me because I really like the part of the theme where they put part of All of She in it. I love that. But I'm not sure about the rest of the theme. I don't mind Milia's theme. I think Milia's is okay. But I still prefer the older ones. That's the best bit. I think for me with Guilty Gear themes, I think for me personally, there's not much topping Still in the Dark. That goes so hard. Also, Chip's old theme as well, that's really good. Yeah, I remember I bought Exard and I did play it a little bit, but I am really, really horrible at fighting games. I have a tendency to just button mash, which is weird because I play PSO, which punishes you for button mashing. But for some reason, with fighting games, I just inherently start to button mash. That is not a nice spawn. Hi, Zil, good to see you. Just stopping by before I crash, no worries. Did you just get 2 Stormwind Indras from 2 lilies? I would say congrats, but it's more like commiserations, I think. What is it with you getting double res from lilies? Oh, same, yeah. I think this track, it's definitely one of my favourites from PSO. I think we say this like every time we do CCA. But yeah, this track is definitely one of the strongest on the soundtrack for sure. I think for me, it's up there with maybe the Ruins music. I mean, yeah, Trick Track is obviously amazing as well. Although again, maybe slightly spicy take, but I think that Trick Track... He didn't even want to let me finish. I think the Trick Track, the PSO version, I think it might be the weakest version of that theme. As in, like, the dungeon theme. I think I prefer the original one from the, like, original Phantasy Star and the remix in 4. But I still really like Trick Track in PSO. Yeah, I really need to put Cure Shock back in here. Forgot that Miller drops here. What drops Miller on Pinkle? The flower we just killed. Oof. Okay, yeah, so maybe not the best Miller drop. How about the Caves music? The cave music I think is fine. I wouldn't say it's a strong point on the soundtrack for me personally. I think it's fine for the area. Always put you to sleep. That's how they catch you off guard, just like they wait for you to fall asleep to the theme and then you fall asleep with an obby next day, you're done. I think this song is probably the one that's most likely to put me to sleep, but in a good way because it is just like a really relaxing theme. Well, the variant of the theme that plays when you're not fighting stuff. Obviously, it picks up a bit when you're fighting things. But yeah, I will always have a big soft spot for this theme. To be honest, and Central Control area in general, I really like the area. There's a lot of horrible enemies here, but I really like the area. Potential Soul Caliber. Yeah, possibly. Could you down tech because it's a Geist caliber? Could you down tech that to a Soul? Can't remember if there's anything between Soul and Geist. I think it goes. It's Mind. Is it Mind, Soul, or is Heart one as well? I can't remember now. You think I'd know that? Heart is one as well. It's Mind, Heart, Soul, Geist. So if it's Geist, you could down tech it to Soul. Yeah, so you could make it a Soul Caliber. Which you should, obviously. I mean, it's a reduced special anyway, so you're not going to use it, but... Yeah, you always forget the order of some of the specials sometimes. So 1 in 2,222 for Lame, apparently. I mean, it's doable. I'm not going to say this quest is really worth it for it because you have to go through all of Temple to get here, but... Oh, Tyrell's Parasol drop, nice. That's actually a useful drop. Does it have any hit by any chance?
One more.
Hopefully. Is that another Storm Wandindra? I mean, Pinkle confirmed, I guess. What mag is Mist using? That is the Eleanor mag. Yeah, so to make that, you need an item called Heart of YN0117. Which I think you can get from some present drops in some of the seasonal events, maybe. Or it might be in some of the event trade shops, maybe. that Gibbles did not care. But yeah, the mag's just called Eleanor. It's a really nice mag. You can get it with a lot of holiday currency. Yeah, I can never remember exactly where you get it from. I know I've got the mag sale for it. Nope, someone's just found red ring. Stolen. Hi, Thousand Star, good to see you. Gallon shop or Fulton tickets, okay. You got both the mag sales you have for Eleanor with badges, okay. So I guess if you've got any anniversary badges left over, you could use those. Reminder that they won't drop this year. They're changing how they do it, so if you do have any badges left over, be very careful how you spend them. Yeah, I think I got mine through... I want to say it was maybe a Christmas present, but I could be wrong. You can get for 5 gold badges. Okay, that's not too bad, really. Finally made it to very hard as a force, thanks to your force guide. As the guy one, that's the worst one. Helped me a lot, thank you. Oh, no worries. I don't really feel like there is a worse force necessarily. There is definitely a better force. Oh, that's a spawn. Oh, wait, there's another one hidden behind. Oh, that's dirty. That is a dirty spawn. I didn't see the Miracle hidden at the back. Exactly, yeah. All the forces just have different specialities. Yeah, that is a spawn. Before the guide, I was using him super wrong. You just need to know with a force, basically, what techniques you have boosts on. I mean, you can use anything, but obviously if you use your boosted techniques, you'll do a bit more damage. Yeah, that's a really nasty spawn because you've got the Sinnoh there on the right that you might be able to see. You've got America, well, America's there. There's 2 Gigus blocking it, and then there's a Miracle right at the back. Very, very dirty spawn. I will come back because I could do again some stuff. We run it back. Do I need any moons? Alright. Yeah, Fulmar's a really decent class. It's not one I have a massive amount of experience with. Please don't tell me I've got to run through all Temple again. Oh, thank God. Yeah, really, I think the only real issue with Fulmar is just the accuracy. So if you use a melee or range, you know, you will probably need hit percent weapons in high difficulties. Are you cheesing the America all that? I respect that so much. Let's see. So I can't use that. Can I hit it with Cannon Rouge? Oh, come on. Oh, but you can steal all my TP. That's rude. Is there anything else? No, I don't think I can cheese it. Unless... Oh, wait, I can. Never mind. Or possibly. Oh, I won't look onto it. There's nothing for it to lock onto, so I can't. Damn. I like how we all try and cheese the mirror cowl just because they play so unfair. Right, I guess we have to do it properly then. Yeah, Fulmar's an interesting class because it's a really versatile one. Okay, we need to be careful because it will probably try and shoot through the wall because they don't care about boundaries at all. Mirror Corals are, they are some of the worst enemies in the game. We've got a tiny little space to fight in as well. I kind of feel like we need to make a run for it through. Yeah, can I get the Gigu? I can. It's 1 in 8k for Miller, easy. Okay, do you know what? I'll take that. That Gigu to save my life. Okay, I think we're now safe. Yeah, Mary's just like don't play by the rules in Ultimate at all. They are a nightmare to deal with. 1 in 8k, never going to happen. Exactly. Why even bother? I like Fulmar particularly for the extended SD range, and add Striker of Chow and you can buff them across the pond. Yeah, it's a nice benefit. Hi, Vector, good to see you. So Vector, if you are wanting Heart of Tension Blaster, the current RBR quest is Scarlet Realm 2. How you choose to use that information is up to you. Interesting quest, we had a lot of barrels. We seem to be getting loads of Spiggles actually, which is pretty nice. I guess, yeah, I never thought about that. That Mericaro spawn wouldn't be that all the time, because it is random spawns. The good with safe IDs. Yeah, I guess if you've got an ID that has a few decent drops, then you're probably pretty safe to run this. I mean, I guess Sky's probably a pretty good idea for this. Yeah, you've got Heaven Punisher from the Spiggles, you've got MKB from the Mericarrols, SGS obviously from the Gigus. It's probably not too bad. Pinkle is mega stacked here. Pinkle, I think, is maybe the best idea for this. I like how there's the fences inside the wall so you know how many waves of enemies are left. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't notice that. Assault Gibbon is 1 in 97 for DB at the minute. What are your favourite missions? I'll check what my favourite quest is now. I mean, I feel like most of the maximum attack quests are always pretty safe because they're really decent spawn counts. Honestly, I'll always like Phantasma World 4 just because, one, I ran it so much, and two, as much as I like to pretend I don't like it, I do kind of like Tower. And that quest it's very fun when you've got a competent party and you know what you're doing. And it probably feels like one of the fairer tower quests. It's got a lot of enemies, a lot of enemy counts in it for sure, but the spawns feel at least somewhat fair. Whereas if you're in something like Twilight is just complete BS. And even the gear drop is pretty good. They drop Madame's Umbrella, which isn't bad. I like challenge mode, but I don't think people share that sentiment. Yeah, I mean, I don't really consider challenge mode a quest because it's kind of its own game mode. I do like challenge mode, although it is some of the most stressful stuff in PSO. I think fighting Olga Flow in challenge mode is one of the most terrifying things in the game. Yeah, the Gibbons are very annoying here in Ultimate. I would not do this without Cure Shock. Don't know if I have a favourite mission, gotta think about it. Only played it offline. If we're talking offline quests, I think Sync My Master is always going to be my favourite. Yeah, I really like the story for Sync My Master, even though it's one of the sad quests. I think Shino will always be one of my favourite characters in the game, so... It feels like they snipe you from halfway across the map with the Zonda as well. There's just no hesitation whatsoever. I like the Burning Ranges mission because you get to jam to the music. Yeah, I mean, the great thing about Ephinea is there is Burning Ranges music discs, so you can play it whenever you want. And even need a glide. I'm good. I've got one for my forces. If anyone else needs one. Again, such a good weapon. Haven't decided yet because I'm level 22. You've got plenty of time to decide then. Why does the game sometimes decide that, you know, today these enemies are just not going to die to hell? I feel like there might be a Mirror Coral hiding somewhere. I don't know if there is. Oh no. How would you manage to reach such a high level? Basically, look for something that you want to find and do runs to try and find it. You'll level up just by default. It does take a while though once you get to high level. And also, play if you're on this server, play during Experience Week. Oh, I just got PD'd on a Pinkle card. I don't know how I feel about that. Saved or disappointed, I don't know. Probably saved. But yeah, if you're on Ephinea, just there is a full weekly rotating boost. So just look for when it's Experience Week and play during then. But even during Experience Week, it will take a while. It will take a while to get to a really high level. You need a bigger ranger weapon for big damage. Yeah, at low level I wouldn't worry about it too much. At low level, honestly, probably just use what you find for the most part. You'll only really start to find rare weapons once you get into hard, which you might be in hard at level 22. But even then, it's going to be quite limited stuff that you find. There's a mirror carol behind there. I just saw it. I'm kind of surprised that considering that Disco Braveman is 1 in 97 at the minute, I'm really surprised I haven't seen a single one. Given the amount of gibbons we've killed. I finally came back to PSO like after 25 years and your video's been helping me a ton. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Gold Dragon actually dropped a Mazer Beam. It's only the second one I've seen from all the spaceship runs I've done. I do wish Mazer Beam was better. I guess like, Power Mazer has a very, very niche use as a box opener. Yeah, the wrong tab open to make a party. We've all done it at least once. It's cool that people are still playing. Not only are they still playing, I can't speak for the other servers in the game, but this server still has a really nice play count. I think when I logged on before stream, there was around about 300 people on. And during the anniversary event every year, it can go to 600-700. Just because the game is so loved by a lot of people that, and there's still people, you know, keeping servers going to be able to play it, so it's kind of a mixture of players now, though. I think there's obviously a lot of people who have come back to PSO who used to be around on the original servers, but I think there is also quite a big group of people who maybe never played it back in the day and are now checking it out. Whether it's people who maybe started with PSO 2 and want to see where it started. Yeah, it's cool to see. I'm really happy that PSO has still got a good fan base. Yeah, it was a pretty fun quest, honestly. I mean, it's going to differ a lot every run because it's random spawns, but it wasn't too bad. It's too bad this game never got a sequel. PSO 2 would go hard. I mean, like it or not, PSO 2 did super well, particularly in Japan. It's, you know, it made Sega a ton of money. And honestly, it's a pretty good game. It's just a very, very different game. It's going to be one of those things where, you know, not everyone who plays PSO 1 is going to like PSO 2 and vice versa. They're so different. For me, I'll always prefer PSO 1, definitely. I don't mind PSO 2, but I think, you know, 10, 15 years down the line or whatever, if there was private service PSO 2, I don't know if I'd go and check it out. Yeah, I got a luck material and a photon drop. I mean, I'll take it. Oh, 50 hit Soul Calibur. Nice. I respect that. That's cool. Do I have... I'm sure I've got a Soul Edge or a Soul Calibur. It might be on my my storage character though, I think. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got a Soul Calibur or a Soul Edge. You wanted to play it ever since you played Sonic Adventure 2? I get that. I mean, there was a lot of cross-promotion between the games, so... Very much enjoy PS2 Classic. It misses the mark on a lot of what makes PSO so good, but mechanically the game is very fun. I think that's fair. Yeah, mechanically, like, PSO 2, like, some of the combat and everything in the game is really, really good. It just never appealed to me as much. It's kind of hard to put my finger on why exactly. I think some of it is to do with, like, the social experience. With PSO, I found that, particularly back on the Sega servers, there was a lot of, like, this, like, hanging out in the lobbies and just chatting. You weren't necessarily on there to play. You know, the whole game in a chat room. With PSO 2, I feel it felt like no one talks. Maybe they're just all in parties and they're talking in party chat, but it just kind of felt like no one talked in PSO 2 for some reason. How would you sit? I don't know how you do it on keyboard. I can't remember now. I think it's Alt and something. On controller, you kind of have to hold one button and press another one. So for me, it's like I either hold X and press A, and that does it. Or you do, I think it's X and B. Yeah. You get a different seating pause depending on which one you do. And then you press B to get back up again. And while you sat down, if you press A, you can move and have chair races. Also, yeah, for anyone who might be totally new to the game as well, there is a lobby, I can't remember which lobby number it is now. Is it 30? There's a few like this, but basically there is lobbies where you can play go-go ball, which is basically football. Or soccer, whichever. So yeah, you can do that. I think the last few lobbies are all this. We should do that at some point. Holographic beanbag goes hard, it does. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, the colour of your seat corresponds to your section ID. So because I'm purple, then my seat is purple. I mean, we could do Go-Go Ball, like at the end of the stream. I think last time we did it, it didn't work properly, and it didn't actually record any of the goals. Oh, no worries, Lucy, good to see you. You love Lobby 5. Which one is 5? Let me see. Yeah, I like the purple. The reason I use 21 is because I like the episode 3 Card Revolution lobby, and it's kind of scarlet coloured. Alright, so, is there anyone still in game? Five also has fish tanks, it does. Yeah, they all have unique decoration, which is cool. Let's see, how many we got? We have 9, so we can do 3 threes if everyone's here. Is there anything in particular that anyone wants to hunt for? Because we've done some RBR now, so if anyone wants to run for anything specific. V101. Heaven Punisher. I mean, we did a purple num Galdaval a bit earlier. Try for that with absolutely no luck, obviously. Disappointment mostly, yeah, exactly. You know what's up. V101 or Red Sword. V101, LK38, anything red. I'm seeing a lot of V101. I mean, that to me says Viridia Exard. Especially if you want LK38 as well. Down to play if someone else is sitting out, but I can also eat, so 2 4-person runs is on the table. Yeah, I don't mind if you want to jump on, no worries. Actually, yeah, Red Sword drops there as well, doesn't it? Yeah, so you can get V101 Red Sword and LK38 in the same run. Or Red Ring if we end up getting falls. So yeah, if anyone has Viridias that want to make, feel free. I do not have a Viridia. I should really make one at some point. You can get yours, no worries, yeah. I think Peak is making one as well, I'm guessing. So yeah, if we just try and split up into like roughly even teams. Just so we don't screw any teams over. Also, thank you to everyone for watching as well. Oh, Sheridan's here as well. I can't remember if I said, but congrats on 200 as well. I can't remember if I've seen you since you hit 200. Glad there's no subscription. No, it's totally free. I mean, it's a private server, so... Right, what we got? So we have an Exiled co-op game. What lobby is this? Is it any different from the basic lobby? Function's pretty much the same. The only real difference is you have a jukebox at the back, which there's no real point to because you can change the music from this menu anywhere. But yeah, there's that jukebox there. This is the lobby from Episode 3 Card Revolution, though. Oh, I see a banner. Fat Kitty found a Grants level 30 disc. Okay, so there are 3 in there. I'll jump in this one to balance it a bit. Yeah, a lot of people probably never saw that lobby because Episode 3... I imagine a lot of people didn't really play Episode 3 online, or at all. I know it sold really poorly. Like, incredibly poorly. Alright, so we've got one more space if anyone in the lobby wants in. Yeah, how many did we have? Was it 3 for each team or was it 4 for each team? Well, we've got 4. Was there anyone else in the lobby, Sheridan, when you joined? There was a few, yeah. I imagine, well, I think Lucy went off, and I think there's probably at least one AFK. But yeah, if there's anyone in the lobby that wants in the other game, sounds like they've got one slot left, so feel free to join. Didn't hear us. I was just saying, when you join this lobby, or this game, was there anyone else left in the lobby? There's two of you there, okay. But you're gonna eat, okay, and I think the other person might be AFK. It's full now, okay, cool. Alright, yeah, we can start then, cool. It's the only problem with playing PSO, just trying to sort the parties out. Sometimes it takes longer to sort the parties out than actually doing the games. I think there might be 2 games of 4 each, because unless there was 12 online, possibly. I know at least one person went off, and there was at least one person AFK. You can just spam limiter runs while you wait. It's a good week for it. Alright, let's see. Can we get a V101 for anyone? Problem is actually very similar to Monster Hunter. Yeah. That's one thing I do really like about PSU. The fact they allowed 6 people to join. That was a really cool thing. Although, to be fair, having 6 people in a game in PSO would just be broken. Hi, DKDX. We are doing Viridia Exard at the minute, so there's a chance of Red Ring, there's a chance of V101, a chance of LK38 Combat. It's just like a really good general use quest, honestly. Don't mention Monster Hunter, my heart cannot still take it. Honestly, I haven't played Wilds in so long. I have no idea what it's like now. From what I gather, it's improved quite a bit. I bet Sky finds 2 V101s. You have far too much confidence. Oh, we got the wrong route. Any mills? No? Cool. Alright, back to lobby, I guess. Love to do some red ring runs. Yeah, I mean, anytime I'm on, I'm always down to do red ring runs. At the minute, we're just kind of resetting to try and get the right route on Exard. It's the only problem with this quest, really. Yeah, I'm guessing they might be resetting as well. Because if they're doing Exard as well, they're probably having the same problem as us. I feel like Experience Week went quick. It did. Just didn't vibe with Wilds that much compared to World. Still hurts my little soul. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same. For what it's worth, I do genuinely think that Wilds, it felt like it improved. And for clarity, I stopped playing just before the Final Fantasy XIV collab. I haven't done anything since, so I'm only going based on what I've seen online, but from what I've seen, they fixed quite a few problems with the game. I still don't really feel like playing it at the minute, but I will probably still check out the expansion when that releases. Although I don't think I'll buy it day one. I'll probably wait a bit and see how it runs first. How often do the rare drop weeks come up? It's every 4 weeks. So it's a 4-week rota basically. So you have experience week, then you have drop anything rare week, which is this week. Which that basically increases the chances of monsters dropping an item, which includes rares, but also includes everything else. Then you have rare monster week, and then you've got rare drop week. So it's normally every 4 weeks. So in 2 weeks' time, we should have rare drop week. For what it's worth, you can kind of treat this week as a rare drop week. It's just that certain enemies it won't really affect. So boss drops it won't really have an effect on. Rare enemy drops it won't really have an effect on. Well, we got the right route this time at least. I've been finding a crap ton of ad slots on my Yellow Balls Hucast. Ad slots are really useful. Yeah, don't knock that. That's really good. Oh, a gear bulg, because of course. Speaking of experience week, I spent that week collecting 30 Photon crystals. Spent them all in Black Paper's Deal 2 yesterday. Got 5 Smart Links, 5 Centurion abilities, 2 Last Ones. Nice. That is a really good haul. I like how even during DAR week, it's still 1 in 55k for Yasha. It's just a stupid drop. And there's absolutely no reason to hunt it. Because you can just get it from Black Paper's Deal. And with Sangha being so much easier, you may as well just hunt a Sangha with hit and then get a Yasha from Black Paper's Deal. Yeah, so the Photon crystals, you spend them to do Black Paper's Deal or Black Paper's Deal 2. There are other uses for them as well, like adding attributes to, adding hit percentage to body part weapons. But Black Paper's Deal will give you loads of gear for completing it. The catch is that any like armors or shields will always be minimum stat, and the weapons that you get will always be 0 attribute. But there is some stuff that you can only get from there. So things like Master Raven and Last One, they only drop from there. It's a really useful quest, honestly, if you're just getting into, say, very hard or ultimate. It's quite good for getting some of the core gear. Particularly if you say, you know, if you're a ranger, it's quite useful because I think things like Frozen Shoot can drop there as well. Again, it will have no attributes, but it will do you until you get something better. I think Spread Needle can drop there as well. Yeah, just be aware that it is episode 4 quest, so the mobs will hit quite hard. So if you're low level, you might want to be careful what difficulty you run. Was that a Bringer's Arm drop? Nice. It's because I talked about body parts, you see. I feel like I willed that one into existence. How would you get that much Photon crystals? The easy answer is buy them from other players. The drops generally aren't too bad for them. Most IDs in Very Hard or Ultimate will get them from, usually from the lizards. And they're not too bad to get. And I think rare enemies tend to drop them in Ep4 in the low difficulties. But yeah, if you want a lot of them though, it might be worth just buying them from other players, honestly. Yeah, farming lizards is a decent option for it. Putting crystals on very hard with a purple num. Yeah, there's a few IDs that can do it. have to get a stealth suit for my Rimar. Is Aura Field worth using? Honestly, stealth suit is probably way better. Aura Field is... It's nice if you get one as a drop with decent stats. I wouldn't make one. If you don't know, basically, if you make one, this applies to a few armors that you can make. There is a limit to the stats it can have, because it works on like a variant of the base item. So if you make an aura field from a spirit garment, it will only have like a certain maximum defense it can get to. Where if you get one as a drop, it can go higher technically. As for whether it's worth using, honestly, in Blueburst there is probably a lot better armors to use. Aura Field is really nice defense, but it does drain your TP. It's not a huge deal. I mean, I've got a lot of TP anyway, but it's fine. I mean, for high level, it's totally fine armor. It's got really good defense. Resistances aren't too bad. There is probably better options though. It's just I had this, I got it as a drop, so I thought I may as well use it. And it has the cool visual effect, so, you know. Stealth suit is definitely worth getting though. That is a really good point from Nimble Soul Thief as well. If you do Black Pepper's Deal 2, this is only for Black Pepper's Deal 2. Don't bother doing it in Ultimate. If you want any of the drops from Ultimate, do it in Very Hard, because Very Hard and Ultimate have exactly the same drops for some reason. There's no sense doing it in Ultimate. For Black Pepper's Deal 1, Ultimate does have different drops, so just be aware of that. But to be fair, Black Pepper's Deal 1 is probably easier. Also be aware with those quests as well that if you die, you just fail it and I think you lose the Photon Crystal. So yeah, just be very careful. I would definitely take Escape Doll in, just as like a safety. I think the other difference is, I think Black Pepper's Deal 2. Black Pepper's Deal 2, I think you get, in the higher difficulties, I think you get slightly less items than Black Pepper's Deal 1. But the difference is, with Black Pepper's Deal 2, although you get less items, they're always rares, I think. Or even if you have Escape, dropping to 0 as a fail no matter what. Oh, so escapes don't work in there. I actually didn't know that. Yeah, so Black Pepper's Deal 2, you tend to get less items as a reward, but I think they're all rares. Whereas Black Pepper's Deal 1, you get more, but you can get things like Mazetta or like Star Atomizers. Do I have a Cure Freeze? No. Fantastic. Let's go. Yeah, I actually didn't know that. To be fair, I haven't done Black Pepper's Deal in a long time. If you've got a Cure Freeze too, nice. What can go wrong? Yeah, I've also got a Cure Shock or a Cure Paralysis, one of the two, that serves no purpose. Okay, well, one person remember the Cure Freeze, cool. I'm saying remember, I don't know if I have a spare one. I might actually need to get some more of those. Oh, thank you for those memberships. I will look at that in a second. Just, I'm not getting killed by these. Come on, files, let me look at chat. Yeah, thank you for those memberships, DKDX. Much appreciated. Really kind of you. Sorry I couldn't respond to them straight away. I was in the middle of getting my ass handed to me by Falls. Oh, Falls, I'm so sorry. Right now I'm just trying to get something, get a red saber. I need something to hit lizards with before I get Excal. Yeah, red saber's a really solid option. Okay, that's good. I still fall over to Rafoy. That's a small benefit. Yeah, thanks so much for that. It's like the worst timing ever because it was just as we started the first phase, but yeah. Okay, Foz wasn't too bad there. He didn't do too much Rabat, thankfully. Obviously noticed that we didn't have the cure freezes and thought, nah, I need to give him a chance. Can you not? If only DAR week worked for Red Ring. Man can dream. Imagine if there were minus HP units so you could tune what you do or do not fall over to. Yeah, it's always been one of the really strange things about PSO. Nice work, everyone. Yeah, it's kind of a weird... I don't know if it's like an oversight with the game. The fact that certain things get harder the higher level you get. Yeah, I feel like that shouldn't be the case, but... We can do the side quest first. Yes, some of the side story stuff is really cool. Don't worry that they'll lock as well, so when you do a side quest it'll lock. You won't be able to redo it initially. But what will happen is once you do every side quest, they'll all unlock again. But yeah, some of the side stories are really cool. Well, there's a 50 hit arms with no special. My game is that loud I can't hear the stream. Fantastic. You have the weapon part side quest here. There's quite a lot of quite cool stories. I mean, some of them are whatever. Some of them have like next to no impact on anything, but like the one where the entire quest is just telling a guy not to spend all of his money on weapons. Yeah, no worries, Sherida. If anyone really wants a gearbalg, there you go. Speaking of arms with hit, I have charge arms with 50 hit for sale. Still have some charge Vulcans with 50 hit too. There you go. If anyone in chat wants any charge arms or charge Vulcans with 50 hit, hit up Nimble Soul Thief. I don't know how you get them in the shop. Like, they never show up for me. I get 50 hit force weapons. Never anything else. Prove me wrong, game. No. I mean, I guess I'll keep the arms because I don't know if I have a better one, but it's not great. 50 hit striker, yeah, sounds about right. I mean, I generally make it a point to check like every time I come back to Pioneer usually. How are you able to tell the amount of hit while the item's on the ground? So I don't know if you can see it at the minute. If you look here, I don't know how clear it is on stream, but you'll see like a red box, and that tells me there's a gearbalg on the ground over there. That is it's a plugin you can get on the Ephinea forums. I think it's on GitHub as well. It's called the Dropbox Tracker, I think it's called. It's really, really useful. So it will basically show you certain items on the ground. You can color code it as well, so you can have certain colors for certain things. So basically, I've got it set so it shows obviously any rare weapons. It shows any normal weapons that have decent amount of hit. It shows me things that like useful items I need. So things like scape dolls, grinders, materials. Also shows me, I've got it set so it shows me tri-fluids as well. So if I'm playing with force and a tri-fluid drops, I know where it is. It's a really, really useful mod. But yeah, if you go on the Ephinea forum, there's like a, I can't know if it's called the tools section or something like that. If you go in there, there's a link to how to get it. It's really easy to install, and I would really, really recommend it. There is also a item reader you can get as well that works a bit differently. I know I show this more streams, but I'll quickly show you again. So if I just quickly turn my webcam off, you see this box here. This shows me a list of all the important items that drop as well. So that's another one. That's also on the Ephinea forums as well. So I just use them both in combination with each other. They're really, really handy. Yeah, it's basically a filter that shows you all the useful items, and you can tweak it to show what you want. But yeah, really, really nice. I would definitely recommend getting that. Also, as well, to anyone who's like starting on Ephinea or hasn't played for a while, check the launcher as well, because the launcher has some really useful options in for showing things like item drops. So you can get it to show the drops that enemies drop in the enemy information bar. So the box that pops up at the bottom left when you target an enemy that shows you the enemy name and the attributes, you can get it to show things like the weapon, like the item that they drop as well, and the drop rate. So again, that's really useful. And that's just all accessed from the launcher. There's also quality of life improvement things as well. So there's ones where it requires you to hold a button to be able to access your photon blasts, so it prevents you from accidentally using photon blasts. You can have it set so you need to hold a button to be able to pick an item up, so that you don't make it so you can't attack. Because you might know that if you have a load of items on the floor and you try to attack, quite often you'll pick an item up instead, because your center pallet button will get replaced by pickup. So you can set that in the launcher as well, so you have to actually hold an extra button to be able to pick the item up. I don't use that one just because I'm so used to playing the normal way. But yeah, there's a lot of quality of life stuff. There's even, you can even enable like right analog controls as well, so you can move the camera with the right analog. Again, I don't use that because I'm stubborn and I'm used to playing PSO like this. Hold for item and PB are extremely useful. Yeah, they really are. For me, it's just because I've played the same way for so many years. I'm just kind of used to playing like this. I use the Photon Blast one, though, because I accidentally use Photon Blast all the time. Like I imagine a lot of people do. So I think we've got time for maybe one more run. How is the other teams doing? I need to, so they're just finishing. Cool. Got a spaceship, no drops. And just because I said you got the minigun. Oh, you got LK-38? Nice. The right analog control was the thing that finally got my girlfriend to play with me. She really didn't like the standard camera. I mean, I imagine, yeah, particularly if you didn't play PSO back then, it is a very, like, it just feels very strange, I guess, if you're used to right analog controls, which are in, more or less everything now. For me, it's just, I'm so used to playing like this and just using the left bumper to switch the camera around. How many times I've mistakenly done a PB is crazy, I'll check it out. Yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. And if it saves you accidentally using a PB once, it's worth it. So I've got it set on mine so that obviously you have to press the right bumper to access your back pallet, but then I've got it set so I also have to hold right trigger as well to access the PBs. Yeah, it's really, really good. Right, so is everyone out of games now? There's one more person in there. So, how many we got? 9 or 10 if the person in the game comes out. You play older games so you're used to weird cameras. Yeah, again, it's just because I played it so much back in the day, I'm just used to it. It feels right to me like this. A lucky TTF. I mean, we could end with the TTF. I mean, you know, it's a quick run, I guess. Drag one back. Yeah, we're just gonna on the probably the last run of the day, I think. No banners for us, no. My highlight so far is I got a 50 hit arms with no special. And a PD on a Pinkle card. It's one of those streams. It's great for not picking up items while trying to do stuff, yeah. Again, I'm just really stubborn on that one. I should really use it. We did an Exard run. So I think we're just finishing with a TTF now. Well, probably a couple of TTFs because we've got quite a few people. So we have a Viridia TTF up. And then I guess we could do Red Rhea. Do I go get my Phony Well for the last quest? Lavis is a dream. Lavis doesn't exist. Not from red slimes, anyway. As far as I'm concerned, that drop does not exist. I haven't said that, neither do any others, so... Okay, it does exist, but not for me. Okay, so there is also a Red Rhea TTF up. So yeah, just jump in whichever game you want. What is this Lavis? I wouldn't know. I've definitely killed over 30 red slimes. It's a 1 in 21 drop, by the way. So there's 2 more slots there. So do we need one more game? I guess what? Does one more person join that one and then we have a 3? Yeah, I guess... Should we do a 3? We probably shouldn't do purple num because I don't get red ring. So I guess any ID that gets red ring. Actually, Sherrod is Red Rhea. Yeah, let's do that. Are you still trying to get a Lavis as well, Parkins? Or... Yeah, I feel your pain. I feel like hunting Lavis. I must have had over 10 cure poison drops from the Oblilies. It's like a 1 in 1,000 drop, but I've had about 10 of them. It's like the most useless item in the game. Right, do I have a cure phrase? Probably not. Oh, I actually do. far too much stuff from it, but it's fine. Lavis Cannon was everywhere in V1, but there's better options these days. Literally never seen it on Ephinea. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Lavis isn't even that good. You already got Heavenly Battle. So we know where all the rares are going then. Yeah, it will be fine if you don't have a cure phrase. Yeah, that's the thing about Lavis, it's not even that good. I just want it because it looks cool. And I'll be honest, I kind of want a double cannon. I realise that's asking a lot because then I need 2 Syncestors as well. But we think about that after we get the Lavis. Would also accept a really high hit Disco Braveman. Yeah, it's kind of a shame about Lavis. There's a few weapons like that where they're just kind of outclassed. You know, obviously with Lavis, the problem is Excalibur. You know, Excalibur's way stronger and hits 3 targets and has Berserk. Again, like PSO and balance just isn't really a thing. And then, like, the really tragic thing is, I think I talked about this with Mist recently, is that even once you found 3 uber rares to get the double cannon, it's then worse than a Black King bar anywhere. You just want Lavis for clout. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason to get Lavis. You were 2-shotting Belarus with a Galatine special. Yeah, I guess Galatine also makes Lavis kind of irrelevant. Because Galatine's super good as well. Honestly, Galatine is probably like the only single target saber that's actually really good. I know Red Saber has some niche uses, particularly for Funuel. I think, you know, Galatine is just so strong. Like, the attack power on it is ridiculous. Interested in Berserk double saber? I'm trying now. Is there a double saber with Berserk outside of the S rank one? I want to say no. I feel like nearly every rare double saber has devils. I don't get that as well. There's quite a few that have devils. It's like MKB's devils. Demolition Comet is devils. Twin Brand is devils. I don't know why we need that many devils double sabers. Ah, yeah, we can split the slimes, that's fine. They didn't show up the split for me, so I don't know if it's desynced or something, but... You have a Type DS Devils too. Yeah, I think for Berserk, I think the only one you can get for a double saber is the S rank one. It's just kind of weird, like, why would you have so many double sabers with the same special? It doesn't matter too much if they split, because they only drop Sangha anywhere. think Berserk on a double saber would be interesting. It'd be quite risky because I do feel like the double saber animation does leave you a little bit open sometimes. A cool option though for a single target. Okay, I'm starting to hear the pan arms again, so there is a chance I might get shot from another room. We'll see. Having fun on Vivienne with the Huka Steel, even though you can't use a special. Yeah. So, no red slime then, huh? See? Doesn't exist. That slime is very desynced for me, by the way. Yeah, Vivienne is probably decent on Huka Steel just because of how strong it is. It's just a really good weapon anywhere. And to be fair, the special is not really the main reason you use Vivienne. So... Double sabers are pretty useful for satellite lizards, yeah. I mean, most melee weapons are, but yeah, double sabers do work really well on them. I do like double sabers generally. Cannon Rouge does so much damage. Still prefer Faust. Is that because of the animation, or...? Wish I had a Nug. Yeah, actually, I genuinely wouldn't mind getting a Nug. I know it's not really worth anything, but it looks so much better than Cannon Rouge. And I've said this before, but with Cannon Rouge, you can't use it on this character because it just... I mean, look at it. That is not right. It is slightly too big for the character. Fair Faust because you use a 40-hit one. Fair. Yeah, we can kill the guild chicks. I know they dropped something good on Red Rhea, so... Well, I would if I could get in the room. PSO, please. Can you, like, get out the way of the entrance? So I can actually hit you. God, I love PSO. Yeah, well, it's more the fact that she, like, embeds the bazooka in her forehead. It's just far too big. I always forget you've got a 30-hit Cannon Rouge, Jack. Yeah, I don't think man's got any attributes. Yeah, nothing. It's something I might hunt at some point, but again, I really prefer how Nug looks, so I'm not a big fan of how Cannon Rouge looks, just because it is far too big. think it would look a lot better on something like a Rakast or I guess a Cassil would probably have the same problem. At least it's not Meteor Rouge. I honestly can't even remember what Meteor Rouge looks like. Which I wish was actually the strongest bazooka. Yeah, I honestly can't even remember what that looks like. Oh, 3073 DB Saber, huge raz. It's kind of like Cannon Rouge, but with a big drill head. Nice accuracy there. I do need to try and get this Baron's launch to 50 hit at some point. 50 hit Gigi Bazooka went. I mean, it would be on brand, wouldn't it? Oh god, they are very strong. There's always one that escapes the traps. Yeah, so far this Baron's launcher is 30 hit at the minute, and I really need to improve it to 50 when I can. That again just requires a lot of photon crystals and a lot of luck. Even at 50 hit, I still miss. Fair enough. I guess it's not the most accurate weapon, is it? So okay, that was actually the greatest time to get the invincibility trigger. Yeah, the special is just not particularly accurate, and I guess with Baron's launch, you are basically using it for the special. For the most part. I know someone made a skin for the Baron's launch to make it actually look like a Baron's. I am considering getting that. It's still very weird that they call it a Baron's launcher. You wish that Suniti was a Heaven Striker coat mark. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's got the same colour scheme, hasn't it, for the most part? Can I Gizonda glitch? I might be able to. I have no idea how good Ramal is at it, but we'll see. Heart of Magwen. I mean, there is literally a mag cell. How do you improve hit? It's only for body part weapons. You can't do it with anything else. But yeah, it's through Dr. Montague. You basically need to do like a side quest in episode 4. Well, that's problematic. Oh my god, stay still. Yeah, I'm just spamming. We're going for it. Okay, maybe Ramal isn't the best class for it. I think he is desyncing like crazy, so that's probably not helping. Look, yeah, maybe we actually just kill the pillars. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like Huniwell is definitely the best class for the Gazonda glitch for sure. Buñuel's not bad at it if you got a red server with a really high machine. Love an egg blaster, though it shoots that final form Dark Falls long range attack effect. Yeah, Humor technically would work better. I guess Huniwell just has the higher MST pool, I suppose, which does help. Higher TP pool, so you're less likely to burn out. I'm not sure about Shifter because I guess the way the glitch works is it bases on attack power, doesn't it? Full Mao with Angry Fist best. Yeah, the Gazonda glitch is super weird. I don't know why it exists. Yeah, it's a very, very weird glitch. I guess Ramalda's better just doing needle spam and normals. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I guess if you spam normal with a needle, it might not be enough delay to let him move enough, so that might work. I think Ramal just, unfortunately, just doesn't have enough attack power for it. Well, not to be really effective. Maybe in solo you could do it. I think Sherrod just got megaded. Needle and Rakas can be decent. Yeah, I mean, they've got the attack power to probably make it work. Formar would be best if Volop could be Zalur, but he can't. Yeah, Volop is one of those weird bosses that's just immune to Zalur for some reason. I think it's him and... I want to say Gold Dragon. I think Gold Dragon's immune to it as well. For some reason. The regular dragon you can debuff. It's the gold dragon that you can't. It's the episode 2 one. The spaceship boss you definitely can't. I'm pretty certain anyway. I don't know why they decided that to be a thing, but they did. I just say I love demons, S-Rank Max. Easiest 4,200 Mazetta ever. Alright, let's see how this one goes. Red ring this time, yeah? Has to be. Spaceship Dragon is actually pretty nasty for new players. It is. Yeah, you generally don't realize how nasty Gold Dragon is until you do it in challenge mode. Like, Gold Dragon is a menace. Yeah, I'm praying for Red Ring as well. I don't have much hope because it is DAR week, so and DAR week doesn't really affect boss drops, so we are at like the full rate more or less. You know, one in, was it 186 from a boss is pretty rough. I still only got one red ring so far, which was like a couple of years ago now. And today is still one of the very few banners that I actually found on stream. I have a habit of finding all my banners when I'm not streaming. Alright, please don't be a pain and spam Rabada. Immediately spams Rabada. Well, at least you did the right thought on blast. If you're going to accidentally PB, yeah, so after I said, you know, hopefully he's not a pain and spams Rabata, all he is doing is spamming Rabata. Okay, we finally got a rough eye. We'll take that. Nice work. It's still weird that you kind of breathe a sigh of relief once you get a final phase. I still do not understand why final phase is easier. Final phase, really, all he has is the slap left, that's about it. I guess the grants if you got low light resist is kind of nasty, but that's about it. Oh, you absolute troll. You can't go right in front of me and then bail up into the air as soon as I pull the mechs out. Okay, so that's interesting. So if you use the Berserk special, you take damage, but you still do no damage to falls. I actually didn't know that. I think we got the burst off in time. I think. I don't think anyone's dead. Yeah, in the shield mode, yeah. I knew that you typically do like no damage, but also that was almost perfectly timed. Close. I mean, of course we didn't get one. You tried. Yeah, one day someone is going to time it perfect. Okay, there is a King Striker. Where is it? Somewhere. It's shown up on the item reader. It's not that one. It showed up on my floor reader, but not on the... This one. I'm guessing that maybe this reader that shows it on the item, maybe it doesn't show Flair's reader, Claire's deal things, maybe? Yeah, because there it is there. Yeah, I might not have the filter on for it, which is fine. I mean, to be honest, I don't really need any more of these King Strikers. Also, it has 45 machine untacked. If anyone wants that, it's a material for Mercurius Rod. Yeah, I think I turned on the filter on the actual item reader, so the one that was like under my webcam. But I must not have turned it on the actual, what's it called, Dropbox tracker. Yeah, take it, yeah. Except I've got a few of them, so... Got Phonium waiting in the wings. I think most people do at this point. Everyone's realised that Phonium is like ridiculously OP. I do have a very low level Phonium as well, but he's still in normal, so he's not a priority at the minute. Like my other male force that shall remain unnamed. Do not invoke his name. It is probably better that he remains unmentioned. Honestly, people want to be thankful that I haven't just deleted him. Maybe in the anniversary he'll make an appearance again. By which I mean a single appearance. Yeah, thanks to the runs, everyone. Sorry we couldn't really get anything good, but, you know, that's how it is. I know I didn't get the free escape doll, but I'm fine. Yeah, not a bad few runs, got some decent experience at least. Yeah, thanks to the runs picker and everyone else as well. So I think, yeah, we're probably going to end there for now. Also, thanks for the follow, Hyperkey, much appreciated. Almost level 201. So I need to mention this now. I think I've brought it up before in the past, but there was another private server, the one that shall remain unnamed, and they did a thing where you were able to transfer some of your Sega character data over to that server, and something weird happened with my Hunuel, and when she went over to that other server, she was level 201. And every time I logged in on her, if I killed an enemy, she would level up. She would level back down to 200, but she'd keep the stat increases. So she ended up with more health than any other Hunuel on the server. More attack power and everything, because well, her attack power would have maxed, but her other stats were higher. And then I'd log back out, she'd be 200 again. Then when I tried logging in again, she'd be back at 201, and it'd just keep doing it. Then obviously, the event happened with the character data on that server. And that's when I moved to Ephinea. But yeah, for a short time, she was literally the strongest Hunuel on the server. Super weird. I don't know what caused it. Just as soon as you killed an enemy, it could be a single moth in normal. I would level up and get a stat bonus. I did not cheat. It was server. It was something with the server. It probably affected other people as well. Not that it matters, because that server's just, well, all the data went anywhere, so... Yeah, it actually showed up as level 201. Yeah. I'll have to see if I can find, because I think I took a photo of it back in the day. I will still try and find it if I can. I'll try and post it on the Discord. Yeah, that server is still there, yeah. From what I understand, it's probably a really good place to play, particularly if you play like GameCube or something. It's probably one of the better servers for that, I guess. For Blueburst, I think I'd always pick Ephinea. But it probably has its uses, and from what I understand, it's under different management and stuff now, so maybe it's better now. Can't really say. I'm happy on Ephinea, so I'll probably stay on Ephinea. What is the target hunt for the next anniversary event now that you got SGS? And people keep telling me to hunt an SGS with hit, which I'm not doing. Probably Heaven Punch this year, I think. Would also take Lavis. But yeah, definitely Heaven Puncher. That's probably the big one. A Psycho one with hit. Just a style on things. Yeah, I mean, I predict there's probably going to be a lot of Skylight CCA for, yeah, Heaven Puncher and SGS. I mean, if it wants to drop me an SGS with hit, I would not say no. Yes, it was that server, Swamp Witch, yeah. A Psycho one does 15 hit, nice. Yeah, I think we will end things there for today. Again, thank you to everyone for joining. Thanks for the memberships and the follows and everything as well. I think next stream is going to be Wednesday. We should be doing a bit more of Chrono Trigger, the end game of Chrono Trigger. And then next Sunday, I think I'm going to try and do episode 3 Card Revolution. If I have trouble getting anything working, then we'll switch to something else. But I'm going to try and do episode 3 Card Revolution. But the next stream will be Chrono Trigger on Wednesday. As always, if you have enjoyed the stream, love it if you consider either liking or subscribing or following on X or Bluesky or Discord. There's links to the Discord in the description and everything. You know how it is. Ep3 haven't done it in ages. Yeah, I think we haven't done it for a long time, so maybe it's time to do an Ep3 stream. Yeah, if more people want to play Ep3 as well, feel free to come in. It doesn't matter if you're higher level or if you just started. I'm happy to play with anyone. It's a cool game. Try it out. But yeah, we'll end there for today anyway, so thank you to everyone for joining today, and hopefully see you guys on Wednesday for some Chrono Trigger. Whatever you're doing, have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Wednesday. See you guys.